Hi, Jim. When you look at Anthony Richardson's first padded practice, obviously coming off of the nose surgery, I guess how do you assess it? Just given that it's a minor surgery, but it's still a surgery he's coming off of. So I know he's not feeling great, but on top of that, dealing with the padded practice, the live reps, things like that.
Yeah, first day in pads, kind of good for our whole group. Anthony being one of those key guys. I thought it came out, moved around well. Everything, hey, we had some pluses and minuses like we're going to have every single day at practice. But good to see him out there. Good to see him sort of getting on his way back to normal. So
And one quick follow up: how have you sort of uh, talked to him about the timing of the NFL? Because he was saying like everything is like a tick here, a tick there, could change, a play. So how have you seen him just grow in that space and kind of attack that detailed nature of what it takes to be successful in the NFL?
yeah, one of those really important parts of quarterbacking. Old sort of great quarterback coach named Greg Knapp used to always remind us when I was in Denver with him. It's decision making, timing, and accuracy. That's what you really got to harp on as a quarterback coach, right? That's what we tried to do back then, and I think it applies today, right? What decision are you making? Obviously we all talk about decision making, we all talk about accuracy, but I think what you said is a great point. Timing is so important. When you come from college football to the NFL, you hear guys talk about, sometimes, gosh, the game is a little faster. It's happening faster out there. Those types of things. And that all has to do with timing. So it's something we're all working on in the quarterback room. But as you're a young quarterback coming out of college, or even a first, second, third year type of quarterback, timing is a real big part of how you become an NFL quarterback and really get a feel for how the game works.
Go Erickson.
Just kind of going along those lines, is that kind of true of the just how fast the pocket collapses too, and like when the ball has to come out in terms of just practice reps when there's 7-on-7 and there's no rush?
I do think, I do think the pockets are usually just as a general note in the NFL, based on the college games I've seen, tape I've seen recently. The pockets are a little muddier. Those guys on the other side of the ball are experts at what they do, and they're doing it at the highest level in the world as well. So yeah, the pockets are going to be a little bit tougher. Usually we're having to fight and scratch and claw to protect that thing the right way. And sometimes you turn on the college tape and it is a little bit cleaner. That's something all young quarterbacks end up having to sort of work through as well as they develop in the NFL.
Have you seen Anthony kind of? It seems like he's kind of a natural though at navigating the pocket in terms of some of the movements he makes.
Yeah, he's had some. I mean, he's had some really good plays so far in camp, from within the pocket, moving when needed, not moving too far where you really get out of control, but just sort of having that natural slide in the pocket to find that soft spot and deliver the ball. So he's done a nice job of that. He is working on it. Coach Cam Turner and those guys are really drilling those guys on it, and he's doing a nice job coming along with it.
Thomas Butler Guerrero.
Thank you for meeting with us, Jim. You mentioned being excited about having a clean slate with a rookie quarterback. What do you hope to accomplish over the next month of the preseason?
Yeah, so we're sort of over halfway through our kind of our install, which is a big deal for us coaches. We're putting in a lot of plays, a lot of offense. When that, so every day these guys are learning a ton. They're learning a ton. Here comes a lot of information at you. Fairly soon, that's going to slow down quite a bit, and then you really refine everything you do. So we want to practice at a higher and higher level every day, eliminate a few more mistakes. Just do everything we're doing at a little bit of a higher level, and that's how we're going to sort of go about our business as an offense. But as we go through the next month of this thing, we hope to get all of our guys enough reps to really show who they are and really find out who they are. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Could be as a route runner, could be as a blocker, could be as a runner, could be as a quarterback. Every position, every technique that we do. One of the beauties of training camp is you do get a lot of reps, and that, gosh, every receiver gets to run just about every route, usually multiple times, and you start to see who gets open on certain routes and maybe who's better at a different route and how you use that thing to develop the offense. So we'll learn a lot in the next month about our guys, and hopefully we'll get a lot better in the next month as we do it.
Thank you.
We'll go a few more here. Raven Moore.
You talked about wanting to see your guys get better. And I mean, one of the best ways to do that is to go against tough competition. So how beneficial is it for your receivers as well as your quarterbacks to go up against a guy like Kenny Moore?
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? Kenny's a great player. Kenny's played really, really high-level football in this league for quite some time now. To match up with him on a day-in, day-out basis, or even just one or two plays per period, is something that really helps. I think receivers grow, helps receivers get better, especially young receivers. As they're sort of figuring out how the NFL works, how to get open versus different DBs, how to what problems are going to be created. Kenny does a pretty good job showing those guys how tough it can be. So if you can go out and win a rep or have a good competitive rep against Kenny, that's a positive thing for us. And I think I think we're going out there watching these guys compete against one of the best in the league, and it sure is enjoyable for us because you do see some good and you do see some learning moments for us on offense. So lucky to get to compete against somebody like Kenny every day.
Andrew Moore.
With Jonathan and Zach both out currently, that's kind of pressed Evan Hall and Deion Jackson into maybe the top two backs. What have you seen from them, and what have they improved on throughout this install period?
Yeah, both guys have had a strong start to camp. Evan Hull, obviously, rookie coming in, first NFL experience in the offseason. And then you get sort of that summer, you get sort of that 4 to 5 week period, to get away a little bit, but also to work on yourself, to work on your game a little bit, to work on your body a little bit. And he's come back. His footwork's crisp. He's running good routes. He's making good cuts in the run game. He's really developing. Like I said, really good start to training camp. And then Deion Jackson also has had a strong start. Man, he's had a few nice runs. There's been some well blocked runs that he has really hit and really just running the ball hard, running the ball well, showing some good things in the pass game. Both those guys are really, really doing well for themselves this first week or two at camp, and hopefully that keeps coming with a bunch of our guys on offense. But both those guys are doing a really nice job coming along.
We'll go two more here. George Bremer.
A lot of people talked about how much communication Anthony's had with coach staff, how good he's been in that regard. How has he been when things don't go well? Do you see him making those adjustments quickly and coming back the next day with a better performance?
Yeah, he's really, really genuinely open-minded and genuinely looking for coaching points, right? Looking for coaching. And that's, as a coach, you love the guys that want to be coached. He's looking for, you got to make mistakes at quarterback. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of things to do. You're not there, it's not a position you usually play perfectly. So you get to the end of a practice, you have a few plays that you want to get back, or you want to go look at the tape and see, what did you see? What happened here? What were you thinking? And then for us to be able to discuss those things, he's really eager to hear it. He takes good notes. We see him kind of maybe make a mistake on one day, and then the next day that same opportunity presents itself, and he's fixed it. He's got it figured out, right? That's the game that we play, and that's the game the quarterbacks play in this league, quite a bit. How much can you learn? How much better can you get? The good thing about Anthony's been really, really good about, like I said, just genuinely being open-minded about, receiving coaching, receiving feedback. And it's been impressive to watch him turn that into improvement the next day or maybe the next week on the practice field.
Well, last one here, Joel Erickson.
We don't always talk a lot about like quarterback running back chemistry, but with some of the zone read and read option handoffs and some of the way those work, is that maybe an underrated thing that those guys need to have some time together in terms of the feel for what it feels like when he's pulling it, when he's leaving it, that kind of thing?
It's something that we are very cognizant as a coaching staff to make sure we are working. Honestly, whether we're zone reading or not, it's something kind of my whole career I've felt like has been something we want to make really important, so you don't have those fundamental sort of errors. At the same time, these are professionals. This is kind of one of the core techniques that they do. With sort of daily work in that area, I feel pretty confident we can be where we need to be fairly quickly with any situation.